Today is Monday, November 27th, and I just finished an audiobook called Mistletoe Motive by Chloe Leese. And this was not the book I thought it was going to be. I would have thought I had read a description, but maybe I forgot, but I was going by the title, thinking Mistletoe Motive was going to be a Christmas mystery. And it was not. It was not a Christmas mystery. It was definitely a romance, so the title was slightly misleading. But I still enjoyed it as a little Christmas fun romantic story. I rated it 3 stars. It was a pretty quick audiobook, and the only thing I will say is there's a lot of parts that I would consider R-rated and risque, and I didn't love those parts of it, but as far as the rest of the story, I enjoyed it. And so if you're looking for just a fun, cute romance audiobook, then you might enjoy it. I'm hoping to read more holiday books throughout the next month, so hopefully I will be able to get some from the library in order to do that. But basically, to give you a little of the plot, this woman works at, I'm trying to think, I always blank on their names. Gabriella, there we go, Gabriella works at a bookstore, and the bookstore has been struggling because it's a small independent bookstore, and of course these big commercial bookstores have moved in, and it's been hard to keep sales up and customers, so they're battling between keeping their cozy, good customer service, authentic little local bookshop while also trying to compete with online retailers and these bigger bookstores that are a little less personal. Gabriella loves her books. She loves the bookstore. She's also autistic, which they didn't get into much, but they did mention it, but I felt like that part was a little, I don't know, if they were going to go there, I wish they would have gone there a little bit more in depth. She works with this man who she can't stand because he's all about optimizing and improving and taking the bookstore in a direction she doesn't want to go. And so they definitely clash and don't get along. And the owners of the bookstore are an older couple that Gabriella is close to and very much respects, and they do the same for her. But yeah, it's kind of about trying to save the bookstore from going bankrupt or having to close, and the dynamic between her and this other man who I want to say his name is Jonathan Frost. Yeah, so there you go. That's a little of the backstory, and I will be back soon with another book. It's Wednesday, November 29th, and I just finished an ebook called Enchanted to Meet You by Meg Cabot. And this book gave me the vibes of Charmed or The Witches of Eastwick, if you ever saw that show, because it is about witches, but not scary witches. And the main girl, Jessica, is a witch, has been all her life, mainly does like baking and cooking spells because each witch kind of has their own specialty. And this man, Derek, comes to town and tells her that there's this prophecy or whatever where she is the chosen one and she needs to guide the bringer of light in order to save her small town from being destroyed. So it takes you through that, them trying to save the small town, her battling with another witch in town who's like her high school enemy, and I don't know, I just found it entertaining and interesting. A fun fall Halloween read, but you could really read it anytime. I rated it 4 stars. I don't know if I've read Meg Cabot before, but I did enjoy her writing and will look into other books of hers. So yeah, if you like kind of those type of shows I mentioned, or books about witches that aren't too spooky, I think you would enjoy this one. And that's all I have for you for now. I'm getting closer to the reading goal. That was book 49 of 52, and we still have all of December, so hopefully I'm gonna do it. It's Wednesday, December 13th, and I just finished an audiobook. It was Lovelight Farms by B.K. Borison, and I rated it 3 stars. It's kind of a Christmas book. It takes place more like in the fall over Thanksgiving and that sort of stuff. But it does include a Christmas tree farm. So Stella is the woman that owns the farm. But she does pumpkins and she does Christmas trees. And her farm is struggling a bit. Plus she's been having all kinds of mishaps go on, such as people destroying the pumpkins, destroying the growth of the Christmas trees, canceling shipments, that sort of stuff. And she doesn't know why that's happening or who's doing it. But the main part of the story is that she is in love with her best friend, which, interestingly enough, was a common theme in another book I was reading at the same time. So I don't know if that's a popular Christmas trope, but she's in love with her best friend, but of course has never told him, and thinks he has no idea, doesn't want to let on. But in order to save the farm, she's having this Instagram influencer come to check out the farm, and it's part of this contest where the winner would win a bunch of money. So she's hoping to win the money to help the farm because she doesn't know how she's going to sustain it. But for some reason she feels like she needs to be in a relationship to make the farm seem more romantic. So her best friend, whose name is Luca, she asks him to be in a fake relationship with her as a fake boyfriend. But of course this is a small town with lots of busybodies, as many of these books are. And that could be a problem for them because all of a sudden they're dating and are supposed to have been dating for a while and own this farm together. And so that could cause some issues. And there's some other things that I don't want to give too much away or spoil. But overall, I liked it. It kept my interest. Had a little bit too much of the risque stuff for my liking. I kind of skipped over some of those parts because it just went on too long for me and I would have liked a little more story versus that. But overall, a good 3-star, somewhat holiday read. And got 2 books to go to meet the goal. It's Thursday, December 14th, and I just finished an ebook called Once Upon a Christmas by Sarah Morgan. I thought this was 1 book. Turns out it was 3 books. And it kind of reminded me of Bridgerton a little bit in the fact that it has 3 books in one, and each one is following a different sibling. And it starts with Byrony. I don't even know how you pronounce her name, but she is the sister, and they all kind of work in medical fields, her and her brother Tom and Oliver. And they were all romantic stories. Only the first one, I think, took place at Christmas, and then the others kind of continue the story from there, following her brother's stories. But they're all about falling in love, and oftentimes with people that you don't want to fall in love with or don't want to admit that you're in love with. And I enjoyed them. I rated it 4 stars because they all kept my interest to the point that I read all 3 and weren't difficult to get through or anything. I wanted to find out what happened to the characters. And so if you're looking for a holiday romance, I would check it out. You could always, of course, just read the first one and skip the second 2. But I enjoyed all of them. So if you're looking for kind of a Bridgerton-esque, not in the terms of like period piece or characters or anything like that, but a story, love stories about multiple siblings over time, then you might like this one. Let's just December 30th, and I just finished my final book of the year called One Day in December by Josie Silver. And this was sort of a Christmas book, although it takes place over a long period of time. But it's basically about people who are potentially destined to be together meeting at the wrong time, and circumstances not going their way when they would like to, but when it is the right time, things working out for them. So one of our main characters is Lori, so each chapter's from a different character's perspective. So we have Lori, then we have Jack, who's one of the other main characters, and then Lori's best friend, Sarah, and some other characters here and there as well. And we follow them over a number of years through their lives, their ups and downs, and I found it entertaining, kept my interest, wanted to see what happened. I rated it 4 stars, so if you were looking for a good holiday or even just winter book, I think you might like this one. It was also a Reese's Book Club pick, so a good way to end the year on a happy note with a happy book. And I will be doing one more book video with my top reads of 2023, so my 5-star books of 2023, but I don't know exactly when that will go up. It will obviously be in 2024 in January. I just don't know when exactly because I've got to get it recorded. But my goal for this year was 52 books, so a book a week, and I ended up reading 54 books, so I feel good about that. Now next year, I think I'm going to make my reading goal a lot lower, just because it's going to be a different year unlike any other that I've ever had before, and I don't know how much time I'll have to dedicate to reading. So I'm going to make a goal of half that, of 25 books, well, half of the 52, so 25 books, and that is correct, right? Well, 26 is exactly half, but 25 is a nice even number. So I'm going to make a goal of 25 books for 2024, and we'll see how I do with that. And I can always raise it if I end up hitting 25 books halfway through the year. I can always raise it up, but I think that's a good goal to start with, considering things will be very different. So I hope you enjoyed the reading vlogs this year. I'll probably continue to do it in this format again next year, just because I find it easier and I like doing it this way. And you seem to have liked it too. And I'll see you soon with some more videos. Happy reading!